Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the player ratings. Everton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1, but it felt like a massive point, didn't it? Getting the goal so late on, like we did against Chelsea. It feels like you've won a point. That's what it feels like. It feels like you've won a point. Huge moments. Let's be honest. We just needed something tonight, and obviously going down a man and then conceding a penalty, and everything seemed like it was conspiring against us. But we played well. We played well after we went down to 10 men. I thought we were excellent, and I thought the changes were good. It got us on the front foot. Sean Dyche did the right thing, and we got the goal, and it was an absolutely amazing goal by Michael Keane. And at that point we were much the better side. And I think if the game had gone on for maybe another 5 or 6 minutes, maybe we would have won the game. But who knows? We're still we've still got a lot to do in front of goal. Let's get it right. You know, if we had the goal scorer, I think we'd be miles clear, wouldn't we? But that's what everyone's desperate for, a goal scorer. But maybe we found one. Maybe Michael Keane was the answer all along, and maybe we should have put him up front. And it was very fitting that Mick Lyons was at the game and came out before the game, because it felt like a very Mick Lyons kind of thing. You know, anyone who doesn't know who Mick Lyons was, he was Everton's captain during the late 70s and was a centre back. Well, he played everywhere actually, but would always pop up with a big goal. He when you talk about, you know, bleeding blue, he really did. And Michael Keane's done it again for us. You know, big goal. Obviously, he scored in the Palace game, and this season he scored in the game tonight after obviously conceding the penalty, which was a big moment. But yeah, as I said, it feels like we've won a point tonight. It always feels good when you concede the last minute goal. You always feel like don't you, like it's the worst thing in the world. But and you feel like it feels like you've lost the game. But tonight we got the point. Let's get into it then. Jordan Pickford didn't have much to do, did he? To be honest, didn't have to make a save all night. Didn't have to make a punch. Didn't have to make a claim. Yeah, his kicking wasn't great. Only 34% accuracy. Long balls only 7 out of 26. But I don't know, what can you say? He didn't have to do anything. I think that shows you what kind of night it was. They had one shot in the first half early on, and obviously the penalty. So I don't know, it's difficult. I'll give him 6.5 just because his kicking wasn't great. But apart from that, he didn't really have anything to do, which shows, you know, how well Everton did in the game, to be honest. Seamus Coleman again did okay. Nothing massive. 2 of his 3 ground duels won. Didn't win any of his aerial duels. And just the one tackle. Yeah, again, it was an interesting tactical. We were quite narrow, and they tried to pull us out wide quite often, and to get the space to run at us in the wide areas. It didn't really work as such. But again, Seamus has been steady and has been. Again, you know, he's not going to rip down the right wing in these games. It was quite interesting actually that Patterson wasn't even on the bench tonight. So obviously the manager's putting all his faith in Seamus Coleman, and obviously towards the end of the game, Ben Godfrey playing on that side. So that's quite interesting that the manager isn't looking to rush Patterson back into the side. Fine. So yeah, Seamus was all right. I'll give him 6.5 as well. Ben Godfrey, as I said, started on the left, did okay. Won 4 of his 9 ground duels. Won one of his 2 aerial duels. Positionally, he's still got quite a lot to learn. But obviously, the manager, I think, likes the fact that he's got the pace. I mean, 3 tackles, one early on where he just smashed into one of their players. 1 interception, clearances 4. He's quite a, I don't know. He just does the job. He's not as I've said many a time. He's not an amazing football. He's not an amazing defender, but his power and his pace get him out of a lot of trouble. So, and the manager obviously prefers him to Michalenko at the moment, which to be honest is fine by me. Everybody knows why. Michael Keane. Oh, sorry. I think Ben Godfrey will give 6.5 as well. Michael Keane was having a decent game. For aerial duels. Spoke about this after the Chelsea game. That's what he's in the team for. He's in the team to win headers. He won 4 of his 5 headers today, winning 2 of his ground duels. He's in the team to win headers. Let's get it right. Tarkowski does a lot more of the defending on the floor, and he does the defending in the air, and that's why he's in the team. He was having a steady game, and then he gives away a stupid penalty, and it was a penalty. The lad's got the wrong side of him, and knew exactly what he was doing. Waited for the contact, and brought him down. But listen, he kept his head, and smashed in. And just an incredible shot, incredible effort. And he has, he has got that. He has got that in his locker. Funny enough, we've seen that before. I mean, the way the goal he took against Crystal Palace was fantastic. But he has got that sort of ability. We've seen him in the videos. He has got that ability. He had one, I think, in the first half off a corner where I think he took it on his chest and then he volleyed it over, but not by much. So excuse me, bit of a cold. But it was a fabulous finish. I've given him an 8 because that finish alone was just absolutely fantastic. But as I said, his all-round game was pretty good, apart from the penalty, which he's just managed to get. As I said, the lad's just managed to get the wrong side of him. So, brilliant goal. Just a brilliant goal. James Tarkowski, as I said, next to him. He done all right as well. Aerial duels 4 out of 6. One of the 2 ground duels won. 2 clearances, 1 block shot, 3 interceptions, no tackles, wasn't dribbled past. Solid, some tremendous blocks and tackles, and just little making sure they knew he was there, whether it was on the ball or off the ball. I've given him 7.5. I think him and Keane. I think as I've said this before, Keane is better because he's with someone who's a bit of a leader next to him. So, I thought he had a good game as well. James Tarkowski, as I said, I've given him 7.5. Into midfield, Jessica Gay, give him a 7. Again, consistent. 6 out of 5 ground duels won. 5 out of 6. Sorry, that's massive. That's massive. Winning the ball back, winning his battles. I thought, especially first half, I thought he was really good first half. Obviously, went off for 5 minutes to go, to help obviously go forward. But he had a great, his shooting was abysmal. He had one where he robbed it. Oh, come on. Pass it to the Gore, please. But again, shows his importance to the team. Shows his importance. Nothing stupid at all. I think that's been noticeable recently, certainly after the Arsenal game. Not taking stupid chances. He's been a lot safer, I think, in the last few games. And he once again, I think, I don't know, maybe it's just he's backed up to speed with the Premier League. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but he's been a lot more consistent under Dyche, playing in a lot more familiar role. And I think that showed. I think it showed again tonight. People have got this thing sort of like, oh, you know, don't play him and play this fella or play that fella instead. No, honestly, he is exactly what you need in there. Abdoulaye Doucouré, what can we say? Yeah. Stupid. I'm giving him a big fat 0. I don't care. I'm giving him a 0 because that's just stupid. That was a moment. Stupid moment. Which could have cost Everton. I mean, he's banned for 3 games now, so it still could cost Everton. But we need all our players on the pitch, sensible. We haven't got a massive squad. That 3 in midfield have been doing reasonably well. You know, he's been scoring goals. He's been helping us get forward, being the target man at times. And that was just stupidity. Kane is just pathetic, going down the way he did. Absolutely pathetic to see that from the England captain. That's pathetic. You know, but he's done it, hasn't he? He's done it. He's put his hand on someone's face, and nowadays it doesn't matter whether it's a punch or it doesn't matter whether it's a punch or what. It's it's a red card, and it's just absolute stupidity from and you can't say it. You can't say it any other way, isn't it? It's just stupid. Whether we like it or not, he's played him. He's done it to the wrong person. Kane knows exactly what he's doing because that's what Harry Kane's been doing for years. Whether it's getting other people sent off or winning fouls that when he's fouled the other fella, put your hand in someone's face, you're going to get sent off for it. And the way he reacts just adds to it. But you can't put your hand in someone's face. You just can't. And yeah, poor. And obviously he's going to miss the next 3 games, which is going to give someone else a chance. We'll have to wait and see who that is, but it's going to give someone else a chance. So I've given him 0 because I can't give him anything else, really. Amadou Onana. Again, I come out the game wanting more from him. I want more from the lad, if I'm honest. Played 83 minutes. Pass accuracy of 89%. Won 3 of his 5 duels. Just 1 of 3 aerial duels won. He's all right, but I just want more out of him. I don't know what. I just think there's so much more in there, and I think we've seen more. I want him to take the game by the scruff of the neck, and I just don't think he does it for us enough. Not to say he was bad by any means. I just want him to grab the game by the scruff of the neck. I really do, and take us forward. Because I think he's got it in it. A lot more touches tonight. 61. That's double some of the touches he was having. And that might be because we only had 10 men for 25 minutes while he was on the pitch. But 60, a few weeks ago he was only having like 30 touches in a game. But I just want him to take a game by the scruff of the neck. I think it's in there. I think it's in there. But he's doing. Listen, maybe he's just doing the job the manager's asking him to do. But I'd love to see him pick the ball up and drive with it more. I really would. I'd love to see more of that, but just not doing it at the moment. I've given him 6.5. As I said, I'd like to see more from him because I think it's there. Alex Iwobi, again, more of a workman kind of performance. A few nice little dribbles now and again. He had 3 successful dribbles out of 8. Some nice touches. He's working. He works hard for the team. but I'd like to see a little bit more from him. No shots. No shots on target. One shot off target. I think he's just got, again, he's another one who has to be more effective in the final third. He is a wide player. He is someone who is supposed to create goals, score goals. He doesn't score goals. We know that. But he certainly obviously got the most assists in this team. Again, I think he's sacrificing a lot of his natural game to work hard, and that's fine. That's no problem with that at all. He's obviously doing what the manager's asking him. Him and Demarai Gray are doing as the manager is asking them to do, which is work hard for the team. Again, no, I think I just like a little bit more from him. So, but I've given Iwobi a 7. Dwight McNeil on the other side. Excuse me. A bit more workmanlike tonight. There wasn't as much quality. He did put one really good cross in the first half. Really dug it out and put it in there, but just wasn't. I don't know. There wasn't enough. Again, hard work, but that's the minimum, is it? We talk about hard work like it's. I don't know. Like it's the bare minimum. We should never even talk about hard work if we're being honest. It's the bare minimum. But I suppose it's working hard for the team. It's not working hard as such. It's working hard for the team. It's getting back. It's doubling up with the fullback. I just thought tonight he ran into a few blind alleys. He had sometimes he had Ben Godfrey on the outside of him and never give him it and just sort of run into blind alleys. I'd like to see a bit more creativity, because he can put a ball in the box. He can shoot with his left foot. We've seen that. I just don't think we saw it tonight, if I'm honest. I just thought we saw a hard working display rather than anything more. But obviously the manager likes him. The manager feels like who else is going to be playing up there? Let's be honest. He won 3 of his 8 ground duels and 1 out of 2 aerial duels. But a dribble attempts 1 out of 2. Only attempted 2 dribbles, which sort of speaks for itself. Yeah, he was all right. He wasn't amazing, but he kept working to the end. I've given 6.5. Demarai Gray wasn't really a game for Demarai Gray. Spurs didn't leave much space behind. That's probably because Eric Dyer was there, but they didn't leave much space behind. It didn't really give him anywhere to go. I think he tried to hold the ball up and did that a couple of times successfully, but listen, he won 7 of his 11 ground duels, which is good. It's what you want from a centre forward playing up there on his own. But it just wasn't his night. Well, it wasn't his night for he had one early on, didn't he? One shot early on, which he bent over, and we've seen that loads of times. That shot, sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't. But again, that it just wasn't. I think tonight was a night where you needed a proper number 9. A Dominic Calvert-Lewin playing up front for you, holding the ball up and then getting it wide. Demarai Gray just didn't have that tonight in his 77 minutes. I've given him a 6. Again, worked hard, but you just want to see him again. He's playing up front. He's had 1 shot on target and 1 shot off target. 1 dribble out of 3. Successful. So I would like to see more out of him. The subs, the subs quite interesting subs from the manager tonight. Ellis Sims and James Garner came on at the same time. Tom Davies, they all came on around the same time, didn't they? The manager made a raft of changes. Michalenko, what was he wearing on his feet? What was he wearing? Do the players not check the studs before they come on the pitch? Did they not check what the pitch is like? You know, the pitch was wet. He's slipping around like anything. when he was in like attacking areas. Listen, he came on, he won 5 out of 5 ground duels, so that's straight away sound. But actually, he got a couple of decent opportunities in the final third, but couldn't keep his footing. But he did all right. He defensively done well, won the ball back. Offensively, not great. But he was on the pitch for 13 minutes. He's had 5 tackles. So he was straight into it. That's obviously the kind of player he is. 3 clearances. So he done his job when he came on, actually. So I've given him a 7. Tom Davies came on last 14 minutes. Again, run round like an absolute lunatic. One ground duel, one. Again, kept the shape, did all right. 6 out of 6 passes, so didn't lose the ball. And again, another key part of what hit the subs all worked. The subs were all great. They all worked brilliantly. We suddenly had this new midfield. Obviously we'd lost one, and then suddenly, and the manager didn't just do anything. He didn't do anything stupid. What he didn't do is, there's a temptation, I imagine, to just throw everybody up, throw loads of forward players on. But he didn't do that. He reshaped the midfield and said, keep the ball, stay in their half and keep the ball, and almost ground them down, and an opportunity would come. And I think by reshaping the midfield and obviously Garner was a part of that. But again, Tom Davies was good when he came on, so why feel the need to give him stick? It's absolute nonsense. But Tom was fine when he came on. Kept us going, worked hard. I've given him a 7. And James Garner, 13 minutes on the pitch, 7 out of 7 passes, 100%. Again, kept the ball for us. That was the most important thing. Ground duels, 2 out of 2. That was the most important thing. Keeping the ball, keeping them in their half, keeping them under the cosh. That was massively important. And don't forget, while we had 10 men and they had 11, we were still the better team. They didn't have a man sent off till the 88th minute, and yet we still ground them down. I know we scored a minute later or 2 minutes later, but while we had 10, we were still a much better player, the much better team. So, and I think that's because the manager, we took Seamus off, Michalenko at left back, but Godfrey, the midfield was Tom Davies and James Garner. He put Ella Sims up front, and it worked. It worked to a T. And as I said, James Garner, I've given him a 7 as well. Those 3 subs worked an absolute treat. And we just kept the ball when we kept on winning the ball. And to have one of your midfielders sent off and then to take the other 2 off. Now, the other 2 might have been feeling it a little bit because obviously it's Ramadan, and players are those obviously we've seen the break in the first half when the fast was over, but who knows what kind of effect that has on players physically. So it was a bold move to reshape the whole of that midfield, and we'll have to see which one he goes for, whether it be James. I thought James Garner looked obviously he keeps the ball really well, and that's something that you might want to, because obviously you've got a Garner Gay in there who plays the 6 like Tom plays the 6. But we're going to Old Trafford, so it's horses for courses. We'll have to wait and see. Ella Sims, he did all right when he came on. I thought his hold-up play it looked like they'd been working on. You know when you see someone's working on something, so they're doing it all the time. He looked back to goal. There was a noticeable difference. He was getting the ball, and then he was just giving it the way he was facing. I thought that was noticeable. It was like they'd been working on it loads. But he didn't get any opportunities on goal, and he kept the ball alive when it was coming up to him. Again, really important. 5 out of 7. He only had 9 touches, but he, it's been noted that his hold-up play isn't that good, and I thought it was noticeable tonight how well he did when he held it up. So I still don't think he should be starting games, because I just don't think he can play up front on his own for 90 minutes. But I think there's more opportunities for him now. I think the manager should. I think the manager might have been looking and thinking, maybe just before the Corey got sent off, maybe there was an opportunity to bring on them. But once he got sent off, you've got to look at the whole thing, haven't you? I've given him 6.5. Yeah, listen, we got a point. It's a last-minute equaliser. Fantastic. That's we're out the bottom 3, 4 games unbeaten, and hopefully we can get something at Old Trafford and then come into the Fulham game. That could be massive. But it's a good habit. It's a good habit to get into. Not losing games. It is definitely a good habit to be in, not losing games. So happy with that. Make sure to check out my Gladys Street reaction, where you'll see loads of clips of the Gladys Street going mental. Make sure to check out Baz's videos as well. And we'll be doing the final word tomorrow over on Toffee TV Premier. So make sure you come and join us for that. If you're not on Toffee TV Premier, the link is in the description, and the QR code will be coming up in a moment. See you in a bit.